So one of my subscribers asked me for a tutorial of the routine I did yesterday, the sponge ball routine, and I told him I'd get right on that. And since I needed to record a trick for today anyway, just record the tutorial for him now. Before I get started though, could you guys help me count how many sponge balls I have here? I can't remember how many I put in my pocket today. Let's see, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I lost count. How many was that? So I've got 4. Was I on 5? Nah, it doesn't matter. I should have written it down. Anyway, the routine that I did yesterday went something like this. So I have 2 balls. Put one in my hand, and then the other, I have 2 balls, but not in this hand. Now seriously though, I have 2 balls. 1, 2. Still not in this hand though. But in all honesty, I do have 2. 1, 2. So how many balls in this hand? No, I've been telling you the whole time there's 2. Where this third one comes from is the real question though. And as you saw before I started, I had 2 balls in finger palm, which usually finger palm is going to be your middle finger and your ring finger like that. I sometimes use my pinky and my ring finger so that when I close my hand, I can put my middle finger on top here so that even if I flash a little bit, you're not going to really see the balls. But either way. And then I have the third ball, which is the only one you're ever actually seeing until the end. It's just the same one over and over again. Every time I count 2, except the last time, it's all the same ball. 1, 2. And the way I do that false placement, there's a lot of different ways to do a false placement or a retention vanish. Either way, same motion. For this one, I prefer it a little bit because to me, it looks and feels more natural. Because the motion that you're mimicking is this one. But as you can see, when you actually do that, your hand is going exactly where it needs to go and making the motions that it would be needing to make already. Because what's really happening is instead of pushing down on the ball, I'm pushing past it. And then when I get here, my hand is already where it needs to be to take that ball back. You almost can't help it. And then you just keep the back of your hand towards your spectator. And again, it's really easy to get from there into finger palm or back. It's a very easy transition to make with a sponge ball. Thumb palm, finger palm, thumb palm, finger palm. But with this false placement, you almost can't help but go into thumb palm. It almost happens automatically. Just make it instead of on top of it, and you'll get it every time. And like I said, whole routine use false placement. And then when I say no, in all honesty, I do have 2 balls, and I actually do push this one down, then I'm just pulling the first ball out of palm and keeping the other one down there, stuffing this in as well. And now I have 2 in this hand and 1 in this hand. But there's a lot of fun you can have with sponge balls. One of my favorite things to do with them is something I actually did to my mother once, and she got kind of irritated with me. I took them, I said, look, there's 2 balls here, so I'm going to take the first one, put it in my hand, and then I'll take the second one and put it in your hand. Now when we open our hands, I've got 1 and you've got 1. So on the count of 3, open your hand. 1, 2, 3. And then when they open their hand and they've got both balls and you only have one, I like to say, wait a minute, how'd you do that? Like they were the ones that did the magic. I have a lot of fun with that. But yeah, I actually keep one of these in my pocket most of the time. If I'm out at the grocery store or the bank or something and I see a little kid in line holding his mom's hand, wishing he had a candy bar, just looking bored to tears, I'll pull a sponge ball out of my pocket and let him watch me pull it out of my nose or my ear or something, just to be goofy. But there's a lot of things you can do with them and a lot of fun you can have. But I appreciate you guys spending some time with me, and I hope that was helpful. Thanks for playing along, guys. I'll see you tomorrow.